Good evening, I'm Shameka Neely. Brown County has recently had a number of boil water advisories. The problem, officials say, is the county system is more than 60 years old. It's part of a larger issue that may be too costly to fix.
And so we had not just service lines pull away, we actually had main breaks. And there was some discussion about some folks wanting to replace those water mains. Unfortunately, that's very cost prohibitive, and especially in the downtown area where 2 blocks of water main is going to be around $1 million. How do you pay for that? Well, you know, our water rates are already high because we're a rural community. We don't have that many consumers. It's just sometimes the little inconvenience of having a boil alert, sometimes you just have to deal with it.
Bush says a grant would help, but it's difficult for smaller communities to replace the water lines without additional financial support. The advisory is in effect until Wednesday at 4 p.m. Local fishers may have to change how they use bait due to a particular invasive species in the area. Lene Sawinski has more.
Many people don't realize Asian carp have made their way to Indiana and are causing issues on the rivers and streams they inhabit. These fish have been traveling upstream from Arkansas through the Mississippi River and are continuing to spread. And after recent flooding, fishers have been catching Asian carp near Lake Monroe. Indiana Department of Natural Resources fisheries biologist Dave Kataka says that this has forced new regulations for catching not fish, but bait in the area.
It's fairly common practice for people to come down here, cast net for gizzard shad, and use them for catfish bait or whatever. They can do that as long as they don't keep them alive, because now we have Asian carp in here. If the juveniles or the smaller fish come up, it's very hard to tell the difference.
But seeing the pesky fish is nothing new, according to Chris Amstutz, the owner of White River Bait and Tackle in Williams.
And I just see a few more and a few more every year, and a lot more, hearing a lot more instances from local fishermen where they pull into the bank and the big head carp just jump out of the water everywhere and hit them in the head and jump in their boat.
The DNR is currently working on educating the public about the hazards of these fish and are working on ways to keep them from spreading to the Great Lakes. For WTIU News, I'm Lene Sawinski.
A look at your weather tonight. Partly cloudy with a 30% chance of scattered thunderstorms, lows in the lower 60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs in the lower 80s. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, lows in the upper 50s. A look at your 5-day forecast on Thursday. Partly cloudy, highs in the lower 80s, lows in the lower 60s. Friday, partly cloudy, highs in the mid 80s.